A Mahapurukh, a blessed soul, has been discussed, their life, what they have come to do, what they did, and what we can take away from them. So today we're going to talk about somebody called Sant Karam Singh Ji. This Sant has been, it's been about 200 years since, I think is 1826 is when they were born. So it's about nearly 200 years ago. So this Sant, but even today we remember them. Why? Because one, because of their jivan, their life, and two, their legacy that they left behind. Many Sants today, the branches from this Sant has carried on till today. And when we go through the slides, the talk, you will probably see prominent Mahapurukhs that you may recognize, you may have heard of. And some of them have been talked within these series. So from this lineage, from this Sant, many other Sants have been made, and we've talked about them through this. One being Sant Jwala Singh, Sant Isha Singh Vale, who is going to be talked about tomorrow, come from this lineage called Hoti Mardan. So we'll go through who is Sant Karam Singh Ji. So on the left is their family lineage, their line, and on the right is their Sant line. So you can see from the right, it says who can read Punjabi, I'll read it out. Sant on the right, we're looking at the right one. Sant Sampradaya di Nadi Bansavali. So Nadi means basically the one that comes from the Guru. Not family. Bindi is the family one on the left, but the one on the right is the one that comes direct from the Guru. So you have Sri Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. Sri Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, as we know, the 10th Guru, they gave Amrit in 1699, and the first Sikh that stood up was Bhai Dera Singh Ji. And from Bhai Dera Singh Ji, this line of Sant started. What does it mean by this line or this thing? What we're trying to say is basically that Sikhya, that knowledge that Guru Sahib imparted, was given down to Bhai Dera Singh Ji, and then from Bhai Dera Singh Ji, they imparted that knowledge of how to lead a successful life, how to remember Vaheguru all the time, how to do seva, etc. All of that information, that knowledge was passed down, and Bhai Dera Singh Ji passed it down to Baba Soba Singh Ji, who lived in Anandpur Sahib. When you go to Anandpur Sahib, there's an asthan by the railway track, just near to where Mata Ajit Kaur Ji, Mata Jito Ji's asthan in Angampur. There's a Gurdwara for Baba Soba Singh Ji, who was at that time, who did seva in Anandpur Sahib. Baba Sahib Singh Ji Bedi, they were from the same family as Sri Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. They were from the Bedi Bants. So they were the blood relation of Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, and they did a lot of seva within Sikh Panth. There isn't time for us to go through these Gurmukh's Jivan, but if you ever get a chance, do look into the life of Baba Sahib Singh Ji Bedi, and how it was during their time, Maharaj Ranjit Singh's kingdom, how that came about, the Sikh Raj. Baba Sahib Singh Bedi was a part of that, and they gave a lot of var to Maharaj Ranjit Singh. And then we've got Baba Pag Singh Wale, who did seva Baba Sahib Singh Ji Bedi, and the Baba Bir Singh Naurangabad. Baba Bir Singh Naurangabad is still remembered today in India. They say there's about 360 asthans, places of worship in the memory of Baba Bir Singh Ji. Their Langar was the biggest Langar in India at that time. Baba Bir Singh Ji wasn't just a Sant, but was a Sipahi, was a soldier as well. And Baba Bir Singh's, there's so much to say about Baba Bir Singh. Again, you read into it when you get a chance. Baba Maharaj Singh. Baba Maharaj Singh was, again, they stood up against the British, because the British came into India, and they were then exiled to Singapore, where they were kept in the cells, and they wasn't allowed to meet anyone. And then they passed on in Singapore. And Baba Khuda Singh Ji, again, they did seva in India. Baba Ram Singh Ji Virakta. They were told by Baba Mambir Singh Ji and Baba Maharaj Singh Ji just carry on the fight to free India, and they tried their best, but obviously they said that keep the flag going of Maharaj Ji Singh. But as we know what happened with they was given the job to bring Maharaja Dalip Singh back to India and give them the Raj, but obviously we know what happened. They got converted in England into Christianity, and the British then took the Raj from the Sikh. Baba Ram Singh Ji then would stay at Aurangabad, or then sometimes go place to place, and we'll see how Baba Karam Singh Ji, Hoti Mardan, would meet Baba Ram Singh Ji. And so from there, you can see that when Baba Karam Singh Ji Mahaprabhu was born, it was just the end of the Sikh Raj. So that played an important part. And we know that at that time, the Sikh Raj, Sikhi, which dwindled, which the numbers had gone down, had gone up because of Baba Sahib Singh Ji, Baba Bir Singh Ji, but the people were still scared, because obviously the Sikh was going through a lot of turmoil at that time. So the Parchar for Sikhi was really important. And one of the talks I did early in the year, Sant Singh Ji, Mastawani Wale, they did a lot of seva, a lot of Parchar and seva to bring that number up, which went down so much, we decreased so much, that number. And Baba Karam Singh Ji played a good part in doing Parchar of Sikhi. So we can see that the lineage carries on down. Baba Aya Singh Ji, Baba Attar Singh Ji, Sant Gurditta Singh. There's got names there, and they're basically the ones that have carried down the seva. So Sant Karam Singh Ji, Hoti Mardan Wale, they were born in the family of Mata Subikor and Baba Kirpa Singh. Baba Kirpa Singh and Mata Subikor, they would do a lot of seva, but they didn't have any child, and they then obviously did ardas to Maharaj. They came in contact. Mata Subikor's sister was a Shardalu Baba Sahib Singh Ji Bedi. And Baba Sahib Singh Ji Bedi then did bhajan that in your house, because of your seva, you will have this Gursik that will be born in your house, but will be will do a lot of seva. They will not just, their name will be remembered forever and ever. And that bhajan came forth. So they were born in a place. So it wasn't in Punjab that we know today. It was in Pothohar, so in the Pind of Kazia. So Pothohar is basically the area is in now Pakistan. It's the place where the Pashto people live. It's near towards Afghanistan, on the border of Afghanistan, where the Pathans live. And so that area is known to be it's where Punjab Sahib is. Where Punjab Sahib is. So if anybody been to Punjab Sahib, you know that area, even today, it's very, people there, they have a lot of weapons. That place is known for Daku. So at that place, that area is where Baba Karam Singh Ji was born in 1879 on Purnamashi of Hard. So Baba Kirpa Singh was doing Simran when they heard that their son was born in their house. And at that time, they went to the Gurdwara Sahib, the Granthi, made Kada Prashad and then Ardas, and they came home. And it was a thing back in the day that when something auspicious would happen, anything good would happen, they will donate. Even though they weren't rich, they didn't have much money, but they will donate as much as they can. And this is one thing that we've lost in our culture today. We don't. Anything good happens, we should think that this is a Kirpa Maharaj, and we should try to donate to the poor, to people that don't have anything. It's really important. So at that time, after 40 days, an account part was started on 30th day. A Hukunama was taken, and the Shabad was Bilavar Mahalla Panjwa, Kartar Mastak Thapya, Nam Dino Dan, Safal Seva Par Brahm Ki Taki Nahi Han. So the Maharaj saying that now Vaheguru Ji has put their hand on their head and now have given the Naam of Vaheguru, and now your seva, the seva of the mother and father, have come fruit, and now nothing can happen to you. The Maharaj has blessed you. Ape hi prabharakata bhagatani ki aan. That the Bhagat, the one that has meditated on Vaheguru Ji, has been kept. Jo jo chit veh saad jan so leta maan. So the one that has, whatever you ask for, Jan leta maan, the Vaheguru Ji, whatever you ask for has now been given to you. Saran pare charanar bin jan prabh ke praan. That with every breath, take the sanctuary of Vaheguru Ji. Sahaj Zabai Nanak mile jyoti jyot saman. Sahaj Zabai. And what would happen at the end, that your light is inside us will go within the light of Vaheguru Ji easily. Always remember Vaheguru Ji. And that is basically a stamp from Vaheguru saying that this child who is born is blessed by Vaheguru Ji themselves. So the daily routine, so when they became 5 years old, they learned Gurmukhi. So back in the day, obviously we didn't have schools. They would learn from the Granthi in the Gurdwara Sahib. And at that time, in 5 years old, by Kushal Singh, he was a Granthi Sahib, who was a really nice person, who would always remember Vaheguru all the time, started to teach Baba Karam Singh Ji the Penti Akhar, Uda Eda. Sant Karam Singh Ji was a very quick learner, and from learning the Gurmukhi alphabet, they started to learn Panj Granthi, so Baniya, like Japji Sahib, Sukhmani Sahib, etc. They quickly memorized Japji Sahib, Rera Sahib, Kirtan Soila. Once they memorized it, it wasn't just they memorized it and left it, they would always read Gurbani, always recite Gurbani all the time. They would get up early in the morning, do Ishnan, and then do part first, what they memorized, and then go to the Gurdwara Sahib. When they went to the Gurdwara Sahib, they would help the Granthi Sahib do seva of the Gurdwara Sahib. Even at a young age, they learnt all this seva and what they should be doing. They respected their teacher, and whatever Santhya they would do. Santhya is basically when you learn how to recite Gurbani properly. They will learn it first, to go to the teacher, recite it first, whatever they've done the previous day, and then carry on their Santhya. They were a quick learner and they were a good learner. They were a very good student. Always spoke sweetly and respected everyone. That's a very important gun to have. That shows obviously that somebody that's saintly, they have these qualities, that their speech is sweet, that they respect everyone, that they take care of everyone, that take care of everything that's around them. They think sharply. That is obviously a guna that a sant has. Would carry out any task by what was given by their parents. So it's important that they respected their parents as well. It wasn't that they just left, they spent the time at the Gurdwara Sahib. Whatever their parents told them to do, they did. And so it's really important to respect your parents as well as going to the Gurdwara Sahib. And then at that time, then when the parents saw that this time now, they had a thing called Guru Sahib Charni Lona. Guru Sahib Charni Lona means that basically now they say that this child is of age. Now their Guru is Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Now it's time for them to learn the part of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, how to do seva Guru Granth Sahib Ji. So now anything they've got, any problems they have, anything they need, they'll always go straight to Guru Granth Sahib Ji. I think it's something that we lack within our Panth today, that we don't show the right route. If your parents are showing you that the Guru is the main source, that you should always go to the Guru, how to do seva, then one wouldn't waver and fall in their life. So from there, they had an itcha, because at that time, it was a thing, especially in Punjabi households, that going to the army, it was seen as a good thing. So at that time, they asked for Agya, they asked their parents to allow them to go to the army. But their parents said, no, like, you're our only child. If anything happens, then obviously, by good fortune, we've received you, we've got you, and we wouldn't want you to stay away from us. We've got a good household, we've got a good income, there's no need. So at that time, Sant Karam Singh Ji knew that it was something that they needed to go, they needed to leave home and go to the army. So they left home. And they left home and they went, and the Rangarutti basically, but basically when you go into the army, basically. It's that process of getting selected into the army. So not anyone could get selected into the army. You needed the height needed to be right, your health needed to be right, you'll have checks and stuff like that. And Sant Karam Singh Ji was very strong, very tall, and so they had the right requirements. So in Lahore, where the Khalsa Raj had once been established, at that place is where Sant Karam Singh Ji was selected into the army. And at that time, it was always a requirement that in the army, that whoever was a Sipahi, whoever was a soldier in the army, they would take Amrit. They would take Khande Batti da Amrit. It was really important. That was a requirement, and that requirement stayed during the British time as well. So that requirement was that Sant Karam Singh Ji, who was Karam Singh at the time, was then given Amrit by the Jatha of Baba Bir Singh. And that Baba Bir Singh we saw in that line of people, it was one of the Mahapurkhs who did a lot of seva. Their Jatha had now, so Baba Bir Singh and Baba Mahar Singh had passed on, and it was Baba Ram Singh whose Jatha would give Amrit. So it was a Jatha Baba Ram Singh that gave Amrit to Sant Karam Singh Ji. And in Punjabi, I'll read it out. Aatme har samay. So when Sant Karam Singh Ji partook in Amrit, this is what happened. Aatme har samay jaap nu japde rehna. Prem rupi tel, britti rupi batti te hirde di safai rupi thutti maujood si. So they were given a bachan. They were told that always remember Vaheguru Ji. So when you take Amrit, they give you a Gur Mantar and a Moor Mantar. So they give you a Mantar. Mantar is basically something that you would always recite all the time. Gur Mantar is the Mantar. In English we use the word mantra, don't we? You know? And Gur is basically your Guru. And who is our Guru? Vaheguru. And it's basically the name of Vaheguru. So Vaheguru. 4 letters. Vahe meaning ascharj, wonderful. Gu meaning darkness. Ru meaning light. So is that Guru, that wonderful Guru that is going to take us from the darkness to the light. And what darkness is that? The darkness of, there's many things you could think about. The darkness of becoming so many life forms. What is our true place? What is our true focus, our true goal, you could say. And that Ru is the place of Vaheguru. Because that Atma, that light inside us, that shines inside of all of us, that one light is of Vaheguru. There's no difference, you know? So what we're trying to do is understand who we truly are. And through meditating on Vaheguru, through the Naam of Vaheguru, the name of Vaheguru, things come into your mind, and it's to understand who we are. So they said, at that time, Baba Ram Singh Jatha, they gave this bachan, Prem Rupi Tel. So Prem meaning love. So Tel is obviously English oil. So the oil that we should have is of Prem, that we should put on us. Britti Rupi Batti. Batti is that thing basically, this is like a diva basically, a diva we make, you know. Britti, so Batti is what you make that, English Batti? Wick, that's the one. So Britti, so your conscious should be like that wick. The Hirde di Safai Rupi Tuti. So that panda that you should have should be your Hirda, your heart should be being cleansed all the time. Yeah. So with love, so the tail that you put inside it. So the panda you should have is trying to clean your heart. The wick that you should put inside the panda first is of the mind, and within the mind, what you should have is love. You should have love inside the mind, and that is keval gyan de prakash di lod si sikhya rupi tili lai aur antar atme nami vich surat jud gayi. So when Sant Karam Singh Ji partook in Amrit, their heart, inside the heart was being cleansed, and they had that prem, and now because they had the Gurmantar of Vaheguru Ji, now that was easy for them to meditate. And so it was time now that Sant Karam Singh Ji, from this time onwards, they would meditate on Vaheguru Ji all the time. It's really important that we understand that when we meditate, sometimes we say that our mind doesn't wavers. There's a Sakhi in here that Sant Karam Singh Ji actually answers that. But it's really important inside us that we have that prem. But prem for what? If you break down the word prem, ma means pare ma. If you put the, so if there's no, I was going to write, but I can't write, can I? Prem, the word prem, if you separate it, you can say that where you don't have I. Ma means I, pare means away. So where the I is away from you, is completely eradicated, that is where is love. And where people say that have true love is basically understanding that I am nothing, basically, that you understand that this body is nothing, it's going to perish, it is mitti, it's going to die, it's going to go back into mitti, and this is I am nothing. Who am I truly? Vaheguru Ji. And that is what this Sikha was given to Sant Karam Singh Ji. So when they were in the army, their day was, so they were working for the British Army in the Guide Regiment, Paltan in Punjabi they say. They would wake, so they themselves would not really sleep much at all. And what they started doing is waking up the other soldiers in the regiment. And they would get Barney, so back in the days, obviously the Tutini si hunde, they didn't have like showers that you could just pour on and you shower straight away. And even when we got showers, we still can't get up in the morning. They would have to go far to fetch the water. So Sant Karam Singh Ji would fetch the water for the fellow soldiers and allow them to do Shnan, and then prayer them, read Gurbani, read Japji Sahib, tell them how to, made them into Nitnem. They told them how to read your Nitnem, how to do Kirtan, and by showing them, Sant Karam Singh Ji made other soldiers into Nitnem as well. We get money from working in the army, and whatever money Sant Karam Singh Ji would get, they never used to use it on themselves. They would take that money and give it to the Gurdwara. So there would always be a Gurdwara where every regiment was, and that money was given to the Gurdwara Sahib by Sant Karam Singh Ji for whatever seva was needed within the Gurdwara Sahib. And every day, before they started their job, their duties, they would help out in the Guru Kar early morning with the Granthi Sahib, and whatever spare time they would get, they'll spend that doing reading Bani and doing Bhakti. So Bhakti is basically meditating on WhyGuru all the time. So they wouldn't waste any time. It was either helping out in the Guru Kar, reading Bani, or doing their duties. That's all they used to do. They used to have no time, no spare time to do anything else. And from their ways of doing all this, they were now known as Sant Karam Singh. Sant meaning the one that's always calm, that's one that's always conscious of Vaheguru Ji. That's why they used to be called Sant Karam Singh Ji now. So they had a disciple, the first ever disciple of Sant Karam Singh Ji was Sant Lal Singh. So Sant Lal Singh was in the same regiment as Sant Karam Singh Ji. So they came into the army, but it was a thing in the army that whoever came into the army would always need somebody else's safarish. So somebody else would have to say that we know this person's good, he will stay to his duties, so they needed that reference. That reference, Sant Lal Singh was told that you need a reference, and then Sant Lal Singh thought, well, I don't know anyone, what's going to happen? And all of a sudden they had darshan of Sant Karam Singh Ji. And Sant Karam Singh Ji said, well, what's up? Why are you standing there? And they go, that we need this reference. They go, that don't worry, we'll give you the reference. So even though Sant Karam Singh Ji didn't know Sant Lal Singh, straight away they saw somebody's in need and they helped him. That was that was the type of person Sant Karam Singh Ji was, that they always helped whoever needed help. And at that time, then Sant Lal Singh Ji started doing Seva and Simran, because of the seva, looking at Sant Karam Singh Ji and the Sikha that they gave. So it shows that there's many Sakya. There's so many Sakya that I could have put in this presentation, but I've actually taken out like 10 slides. I was like, I can't get through all these slides. So we'll go through some that I've kept. So at one time, when the British came into India, at that time there was a thing called a Gadar movement, which was actually a protest movement. And it was so bad that at that time in Delhi, people started stealing from people's houses. And at that time, halchal mach gayi, and it was so bad. And people started burning houses and stealing whatever they could. At that time, Sant Karam Singh Ji and Sant Lal Singh Ji, they were walking and they saw this, and they went into houses. At one point, so they helped a woman to save their son from the house. So what happened was, the woman said that, I've asked Vaheguru Ji, I've done ardas, and what's going to happen to my son? And Sant Karam Singh Ji, because as a Sant, jehda unda hirda hunda is very komal, it's very soft. And when they heard this, they go that we can't just walk off, even though it's burning, the house is burning, we need to help. So Sant Karam Singh Ji said, bring a ladder. So they brought a ladder and they went inside and they saved that son from the house. And at that time, that Mata gave a lot of asisa, and they gave a lot of, and the Sant Karam Singh Ji at that time thought, well, what is the point of my life if I can't help anyone? So it really stuck into them that it's really important that whatever I see, I'll need to help. And when they carried on, they saw a lot of Mardan, Pashu, a lot of cows and buffaloes and stuff that were in the fire. They saved them from the fire, and they carried on, and they saw a Mahatma. And this Mahatma, a Sant, you could say, a saint, was in the fire. At that time, Sant Karam Singh and Sant Lal Singh Ji, they picked up their manja and brought him out of the house. And at that time, that Sant says, now is my time, I was going to die. They go that, but you've done so much seva, even though you've saved me from the fire, now is my time to pass away now anyway. And at that time, they say that person who was saved from that fire was known as Baba Aya Singh. It was their last life. Before the next life, they were known as Sant Aya Singh. And that Sant Aya Singh was the next the next Sant after Sant Karam Singh Ji. So in the same way, they didn't just save, it wasn't, in that area there was mostly Muslims. And when you look at the life of Sant Karam Singh Ji, they lived in a place with a lot of Pathan, and Pathan people are very scary people. They would always have weapons with them. They would always be on guard, and they always want to fight. That's their kind of nature. And Sant Karam Singh Ji didn't see, oh, this person's a Muslim, this person's a Hindu, this person's a Sikh, this person's a British. They saw everybody as one, and they saved many, many Muslims in that fire. And so one time, Sant Karam Singh Ji, after all that happened, they got shutti, and they got time with you. So they said that you're very brave, now take time out and go back home. So when Sant Karam Singh Ji went back home, their family said, well, what have you brought from this lut? This, people were stealing from everywhere, and a lot of people stole a lot of money and stuff, and they've become rich. What have you stole? And Sant Karam Singh Ji got very angry. Angry in the sense that a Sikh will never steal from somebody, never take anybody else's property. They go that this mindset that you've got is wrong. And from that day onwards, Sant Karam Singh Ji never went back home, never met with their family ever again. They go that kind of a mindset is completely wrong. As a Sikh, we should want to help others. We should never look at somebody else's property as ours. And that mindset, then they completely broke off. They go that my parents, I'll speak with them if need be, but from the rest of the family, they go that will not have no connection whatsoever. They're showing that a Gur Sikh would never, par darbe te hath na lave. That's by Gurdas Ji says, that par darbe, that others' wealth that a Gur Sikh would never touch. And that is the Sikhya of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. So in Mardan, when Sant Karam Singh Ji was staying in the army, this was their daily routine. So they would stay by a nadi. A nadi is basically a river that flows, and the name of it was Kalpani. It's there. And they were 1, 2, 3 a.m. in the morning was their duty. So they had a 2-hour duty where they had to be on guard. Before their duty, they would meditate. They'll go to the river, they'll meditate, and then they'll go on to their duty and then come back. So at 12:30 a.m. they'll do Shanan, Simran, Nitnem, and then they'll go to their duty and they'll come back and they'll carry on their Simran. And then they'll do Guru Sahib Darshan, so Guru Granth Sahib Ji Darshan, so they'll Darshan of Guru Granth Sahib Ji every day. Then they'll do Seva in the Langar, then they'll rest in 2 hours in the evening, in the afternoon, then they'll do Rera Sada Path, Aarti, Kirtan, and then Simran again. And that Moor Mantar da Jap, and that will carry on all the way till the morning. So they will never really sleep. Only in the day they rest for 2 hours. And they carried on. So why I put this in was basically we all go to work. We all household people. At this time when people, obviously, people that are, you've got duties. We all have duties. But it goes to show that how much time, how much effort Sant Karam Singh Ji put in to meditate on Vaheguru Ji and to remember Vaheguru Ji. Even though they're doing their duties as well, they're working as well, they still made sure that their schedule was made in a way where they'll remember Vaheguru Ji all the time and do seva as well. And this is during the time that they are in the army. So at that time when they were on the banks of the river, people would want darshan of Sant Ji. Sant Ji would say from far, they would say Fateh, and they would say, don't do darshan of me, do darshan of your Atma. The Atma being your soul that's inside everyone. The soul that is Vaheguru Ji. You come all this way to see me, but that soul resides inside you. Why don't you recognize who you are? Man, tu jot suroop hai, apna mool pashan. Man harji tere naal hai, gurmati rangman. So I'll translate that. Man, mind, tu jot suroop hai. Jot means the light. You're the embodiment of the light of Vaheguru Ji. Apana mool pashan. Understand who you are. Understand that you are the light of Vaheguru Ji. Man harji tere naal hai. That mind, Vaheguru Ji is always with you. Gurmati rangman. Gurmat. Oh, rangman. Rang means basically always imbue yourself. Always color yourself in the naam, in the teachings of the Guru. When you color yourself in the teachings of the Guru, when you recognize yourself, then you will never be dukhi, you'll never be sad at all. The goal will always be steadfast in your faith, and nothing will stand in your way. Always be strong in yourself. That was the bachan of Sant Karam Singh Ji. So one time, Sant Karam Singh Ji was meditating on the banks of Kalpani Nadi. At that time, they would always be when they 1 a.m. they'll go to their duty. They'll always be on time. But today, what happened? Just like Bhai Gonda Ji, the 7th Guru, Sri Guru Har Rai Ji, they had a Gursikh Bhai Gonda Ji. He was sent to Afghanistan. And one day, early in the morning at Amrita, they were reciting Japji Sahib. Whilst reciting Japji Sahib that part, their mind was attached to Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji's charan, their feet, their lotus feet. And at that time, they attached their mind to Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji's feet that they completely got Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji's feet that the Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji couldn't move. That their mind was so attached to Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji that Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji couldn't move at all. And at that time had passed. Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji's they would get up in the morning, they'll go to Shikar, they'll come back, they'll go into the Langar. There was a process, there was a daily routine. But at that time, Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji never got up. Langar came, but Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji never got up because they couldn't. Because Bhai Gonda Ji has completely fixated on Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji's charan. At the same way, Bhai Sant Karam Singh Ji is meditating on Vaheguru Ji so much that they forgot about everything. And their mind is completely attached to Vaheguru Ji. So at that time, one officer within the army had reported that Karam Singh is not on duty. At that time, that person who had reported, the officer in charge, went to see if Karam Singh was on duty, Sant Karam Singh Ji. When they went, they saw that Sant Karam Singh Ji is in uniform and standing on duty. When they checked their records, Sant Karam Singh Ji had signed their name, because every day they had to sign their name in the records, in the register. When the officer went back, they went back and they said, how dare you complain about Sant Karam Singh Ji? Sant Karam Singh Ji is on duty. When at that time the officer went, the person that had complained went and saw that Sant Karam Singh Ji is still sitting on the banks of Kalpani Nadi. They're still sitting there in meditation. They go that where Sant Ji has been sitting, there's a Pathan every day. What they would do is, when Sant Ji would get up from their meditation, they'll go and sit on the other side, and after their duty, they'll go and sit there. And the Pathan said that no, Sant Ji hadn't come today. They are still sitting on the banks. Nowhere that Sant Karam Singh Ji was in two places. They were sitting on the banks on the river, and they were in the army at the same time. And at that time, Sant Karam Singh Ji said, they said, no, we did not go to our duty. So at that time, everybody was astonished. And at that time in the army, when all this happened, they were astonished that Sant Karam Singh Ji is no ordinary person. How can Sant Karam Singh Ji be meditating on the banks of the river and be in the army at the same time? And at that time, Sant Karam Singh Ji said, now is not time to stay in the army. Now is time to leave the army. But the people in the army, the officers in the army said, no, we will give you a higher rank. We will give you a rank that, the highest rank, and then you wouldn't need to do any work. You just stay in the army though. Just stay here. But Sant Karam Singh Ji said, no. It's now time that Vaheguru Ji has given me the opportunity, the time now. Maharaj has given me the understanding that I need to leave this job. So everybody becomes emotional, they start crying, and nobody could talk. And at the time, Santi said, don't be sad. Remember Vaheguru Ji all the time. They went to the gut. So when they saw, they go that, oh, we'll not cut your name. The officer said that, we'll not cut your name from the register. You'll have to stay. And when Sant Karam Singh Ji said, well, go and check your register. Check your register. Is my name in the register at all? And when they checked, Sant Karam Singh Ji's name was not in the register at all. So at that time, Sant Karam Singh Ji said that it's time to leave. So then Sant Karam Singh Ji went to the Gurdwara Sahib, they did Ardas to Guru Sahib, and they took a Hukamnama. And the Hukamnama, it's on the right hand side, Kar tar mastak thapya naam dino daan safal seva pahar brahma ki taki nahi haan. Complete straight. Maharaj's Guru Sahib is stamping that your seva is safal. It has come fruit now. That your seva and your simran has come fruit. Kartar mastak thapya naam dino dan. That you've been given the naam, and Vaheguru has placed their hand on your head. Api hi prabharakta. The Vaheguru themselves has kept you. Bhagtan ki aan. Jo jo chit hisad jan so leta man. So this is the same hukamnama that came before. And that's this hukamnama that Maharaj has blessed you. So at that time, Sant Ji comes back to the Shawnee, and so now it's time for them to leave. I'm not going to read, what time is it? Have I got time? Is it? Yeah, I'm going to leave that. So what they did is basically, they took Sant Karam Singh Ji, and then they brought them to where Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj is Prakash. And then everybody was doing darshan of Sant Karam Singh Ji and Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. And they said that how wonderful this Sant is. So then Sant Karam Singh Ji, near to where their regiment is, they started their Dera. The Gurdwara Sahib that Sant Karam Singh Ji started is known as the Hoti Mardan Dera. So Hoti Mardan is the district, Hoti is the town within Mardan. So at this place, Santi started a shepherd, and they made a kuhi, and Sant Ji said that now it's time to do seva of the Sangat. So they started doing seva of the Sangat. Sant Dalal Singh Ji, who was in the army as well, he was in charge of the Langar. So the biggest thing that Hoti Mardan is known till today is for the Langar seva. So wherever you go, there's a sthan here in Albury, which is known as Jona Vale. That place is known as, that is from the Hoti Mardan Samprada. So that Gurdwara, if you trace it back up, it goes back to Sant Karam Singh Ji, and they're known for the Langar Seva. So Langar Seva is really important, and Sant Karam Singh Ji will explain that if you're going to do Seva in Langar, you have to give the best of the best to the Sangat. You never ever say that, oh, we've got these old things, or even though they're out of date, let's use this, or we'll use we're not will not use the right things in the langar, will not keep suchamta in the langar. It's really important when you make langar, you keep maryada and you use the best things for the sangat. Whatever goes in the sangat's mouth, you'll get the phal for it. That whatever you give to the sangat, then you yourself, the seva that you done, and you bear fruit from that. So at that time when they started the Hoti Mardan Dera, Sant Karam Singh Ji wanted to do Simran all the time. They saw that it was people were coming, a lot of people were coming to the Dera. They didn't have time to do Simran, so they left and they went to Amritsar Sahib. At that time, Sangat then realized that Sant Karam Singh Ji, this Sant that's been people have heard about, is in Amritsar. The Santis are like, well, can't stay here. They went on to Hardwar. At Hardwar, Sangat went there as well. Then they went into the jungle. When they went into the jungle, the Sangat went there as well and found them. So Sant, it shows that even though as much as a Sant wants to stay away from the Sangat, in Gurbani, the one is the art of the Bhakti is the ones that are meditating on Vaheguru, as much as you try to hide, you'll always be pragat, you always come forth into the Sangat. So at that time, Sanji was brought back to Hoti Mardan. And so we went through Sanji's daily schedule, how Sanji would always say, always get up at Amrit Vela. So Amrit Vela is a time in the morning where the ambrosial time, so generally it's usually between 12 till 6. It's basically before sunrise. So before sunrise, Sanji would get up. So Sanji, they would always meditate from 11 o'clock onwards. So till 11 o'clock they will meditate. From 11 till 1:30 they will rest in the Shapri. This is now when they're at the Gurdwara Sahib. From 1:30 they will do Ishnan and read their 5 Japji Sahib the part whilst doing Ishnan. Then they'll be in Samadhi. Samadhi meaning in meditation, doing Simran, doing reading Bani. Even though, so in Mardan, if you I don't know anybody's been on that side of the world, on side of Afghanistan and the Pakistan side of Pakistan, there's mountains and it gets really, really cold. And it gets that cold that it snows, there's a lot of ice. Even though it was snow, Santi would sit outside in Jadar. They would never change, like wear thick clothes or go into a hut or anything. They'll still, every time, they'll keep the maryada of sitting outside at 1:30. And at that time, sometimes the chadar that they would have on top of him, it would have snow on top of him. And what they would do sometimes is just chad ke fir le lende sige. Itni kathand tapasya Sant Karam Singh Ji karde hunde san. And from 4 a.m. a palki would come, like first they used to go on horse, but then the Sangat said that we want to do seva, so the palki, and they will bring them from the Nadi, from the river banks back to the Gurdwara Sahib. And then again they'll do Shnan again, and then they'll go to Sikh Gurus Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. So look, first they did a Shnan in the morning, then they did a Shnan again because they're going to do Darshan of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj with one ek gaggar. So the 101 gaggar, they will do Ishnan of pots of water. Then they'll do Darshan of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, Chaur Sahib Di Seva, and then they'll listen to Asa Diwar. And then Kirtan would happen, and then Samapti would happen at 9 a.m. 9 till 10, only 1 hour would Sant Karam Singh Ji see the Sangat. And at that time, anybody would ask their questions, whatever questions they will have, Santi would answer. Then from 10 to 12, they'll go out into the Dera, they'll look at the cattle, they'll see whatever need to be done. And then from 12 o'clock, the Langar, they'll sit with the Sangat and partake in the Langar. Then evening, they'll rest for a couple of hours, and in the evening again, they'll do Ishnan and go out, and then same thing, 9 to 11 in Samadhi. So Rera Sahib first in Samadhi, and then 11 o'clock, have Langar and rest. So this daily routine, I'm not sure how many hours could they have rest, about 2-3 hours. That's how much rest this Sant Karam Singh Ji would have. So there's a Sakhi, there's a Abdul Gufar Khan. So at that time, Pathans would come to Sant Karam Singh Ji as well. And they said that we've got this bad thought in our mind of Karam. We've seen this Begum, this woman, even though we've got 4 wives, still this Karam Vashna is not going away. And when somebody told them to go to Sant Karam Singh Ji, they go to Sant Karam Singh Ji at 10 a.m. at night. And at that time, Sant Karam Singh Ji was sitting on the banks, and they saw Abdul Ghaffar Khan, and they said, what is the problem? They said to Abdul told him what the problem was, and Sant Ji said, as a Musliman, get up early in the morning, do ishnan, and then go to your masjid and meditate on the name of Allah. They go that at that time, when you are meditating, meditate for 40 days. They go that during this time of jap, do not partake in any shrab or gosht. Gosht meaning their meat they eat. कोई शराब नहीं पीनी, कोई basically कोई गलत काम नहीं करने, सिर्फ नाम ही जपना. And at that time, ਜਦੋਂ Ghaffar Khan ਨੂੰ in their mind they got Santa ne bachan kita, they couldn't wait to get up in the morning. They were told to get up at 3 a.m. and do ishnan. ਉਹ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੀ 1 ਵਜੇ ਉੱਠ ਗਿਆ. ਉਹ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ 1 ਵਜੇ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਸਿੱਧੇ ਹੀ ਮਸਜਿਦ ਇਸ਼ਨਾਨ ਪਾਣੀ ਕਰਕੇ, and then they went straight to the masjid. But at that time, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮਸਜਿਦ ਦਾ ਮੌਲਵੀ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਸੁੱਤਾ ਪਿਆ ਸੀ, he was asleep. And at that time ਉਹਨੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਕਿ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਆ ਗਿਆ, they said some ਗਲਤ ਬਚਨ ਬੋਲ ਕੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਭਜਾਤਾ. ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਬਦੁਲ ਗਫਰ ਖਾਨ ਸੀ, his mind was all over the place. ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਿਆ, ਉਹ ਬਾਹਰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਅੱਲਾ ਕਰ ਲੱਗ ਪਿਆ. And at that time he did it for all these 40 days. ਇੰਨੀ ਮਸਤੀ ਚੜ੍ਹ ਗਈ, ਉਹਦਾ ਕਾਮ ਵਾਸ਼ਨਾ, that ਵਾਸ਼ਨਾ that he had of lust completely gone. Now all they could think about is Allah. And at that time they got so much ecstasy that they didn't go home. ਜਿੱਥੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਸੀ ਬਸ ਉੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਅੱਲਾ ਕਰ ਲੱਗ ਪਿਆ. And so many years he started doing bhakti. And at that time he got to a point where he became a fakir meaning a holy person. And at that time then he came back to Sant Karam Singh Ji, and then Sant Karam Singh Ji said, ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਠੀਕ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ, ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਅੱਲਾ ਹੀ ਅੱਲਾ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ. ਤੇ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੁਣ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਦੇ ਆ, ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਦਾ ਅੱਲਾ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਜਪਾਓ. This is even though Sant Karam Singh Ji didn't see that a Musliman, a Sikh, a Sai, they saw that this is the person, and that they gave an upadesh upon what their religion is. But this bachan is very important for us, that we should try our best to meditate, and we can take the Sikha from this, that if we have a mandavashana, we have any bad thoughts, that what should we do as well. So there's one person, Mathra Bhagat. He had this thing that he would get very scared of things. ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਡਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਤੇ ਡਰਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਸੰਤਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਆਇਆ, Sant Karam Singh Ji came to Sant Karam Singh Ji, and Sant Karam Singh Ji said, this shabad, get this shabad memorized. ਡਰ ਡਰ ਮਰਤੇ ਜਬ ਜਾਨੀਏ ਦੂਰ, ਡਰ ਚੂਕਾ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਭਰਪੂਰ, ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਆਪਣੇ ਕਉ ਬਲਿਹਾਰੇ. ਡਰ ਡਰ ਮਰਤੇ, that scared, that the thing that we are scared of, jab janiye, when we see from far, dar chuka dekhya bharpur, that when we see Vaheguru everywhere, fir ta oh dar, what is that, what are we scared of? Kunke nirpao, we shouldn't be scared of anything. Nirvair, we have no hatred and no fear. Satguru apne kau balihare, that we are sacrifice of our Guru, chod na jaye sar par tare, jehda sar par jehda chod na, jehda Vaheguru sade utte a, jehda the thing that the death is always on top of us, you know. दुख रोग सोग बिसरे जब ना, सदा आनंद जाहर गुण गाम, बुरा भला कोई ना कही जय. That nobody is good, nobody is bad. छोड़ मान हर चरण की जय. छोड़ मान, take away that pride that you have and go to the charan, the lotus feet of Guru Sahib of Vaheguru. Kaho Nanak Guru mantra chitar, kaho Nanak Guru Nanak Dev Ji said, Guru mantra chitar, Guru da mantra, meditate on the name of Vaheguru. Sukh paaveh sache darbar, that you'll always get happiness in the court of Vaheguru Ji. So this Shabad was said to meditate on it 21 times, sitting down in the mornings first in the Amrit, and then whenever you are walking and whenever you're going anywhere, recite it wherever you can. And then they gave it a bachan to Matra Bhagat, that wherever there's an Akhand Path, that go there and do seva. Go there and give Matra Bhagat's seva was to give water, because at that time there wasn't tutiyan, there wasn't taps, people couldn't drink water easily. So Matra Bhagat would give water wherever there was a smagam. Some Pathan, tried to kill Sant Karam Singh Ji one day, because they saw that Sant Karam Singh is a kafir. In the Muslim faith, if you're not a Muslim, you're a kafir. So they saw, one day they came to kill Sant Karam Singh Ji. What did they see? Sant Karam Singh Ji's body parts were completely separated and were on the floor in separate parts of the room. When they looked back, they could see Sant Ji standing. When they ran away, and then when they looked back, actually they saw Sant Ji together in person. Then they looked back again and they saw Sant Ji in samadhi meditating. Then when they tried to go towards Sant Ji, the Sant Ji would go further away from them. And at the one point, then they saw Sant Ji's body parts completely separated. When all of that happened, they ran away scared. They're like, what's happening here? We came to kill Sant Ji, and then they saw that Sant Ji, so at the last time what they saw, that Sant Ji had been killed, they saw that Sant Ji's body parts were separated, so somebody has killed them. So one day in the morning, the Pathan was standing on the roadside, and they saw Sant Ji in the palki being taken. They're like, well, hang on a minute, and last night we saw Sant Ji body parts completely separated, and we thought they were being killed. So what has happened here? So they went with the palki where Sant Ji was being taken back to the Dera, and then Sant Ji, when they came out, they sat down. Then Sant Ji gives matanya to the Pathan, and then when they said that when Sant Ji, they told Sant Ji, Sant Ji, last night we came to kill you, but you're here fine, and we saw you, but your body was completely separated. And then Sant Ji says, you should never test anyone, especially a saint, and you should never think ill or think bad of anyone, especially one that meditates on Vaheguru Ji. Because if you come to kill somebody who's meditating, there is no toy, there's no forgiveness for that. So they go that, read your nawaz every day. So have Sharda for Guru Sahib, for Allah all the time, and then you will not come in life and death. Even though these people wanted to do bad to Sant Ji still helped them. And it goes to show that people that, criminals or people that act bad, it's Maharaj is saying, Sant Ji is saying that always think twice of what your actions are. Your actions, sometimes you come to do something, but something else happens. So Sant Ji is giving us a Sikha at that time. So at one point, Sant Ji now said that's time for us to leave our body and go back to Vaheguru Ji. So at that point, Sant Ji said, Guru Pita Ji da god da anand manan lai sareer rupi pinjre to azad ho ke bekuntھ nu jana chaਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ. So Guru ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, Sant Karam Singh Ji saying, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰਸੰਚਿਤ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਦੇ ਗੁਣ ਗਾਇਨ ਕਰਨੇ, ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਰਲ ਕੇ ਡੇਰੇ ਨੂੰ ਚਲਾਓ, ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਸ਼ੌਂਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ. So they said that now is time we want to leave our body, because Sant Karam Singh Ji, when you get to an avastha, you can leave your body whenever you want. You have that reign over your body within the hukam of Vaheguru Ji. And at that time, Sangat then started doing benti to Sant Karam Singh Ji, please don't leave your body. They go that please, we want to do darshan of you, and we want to take your Sikha, and it's not time yet for you to leave this body. So Sant Karam Singh Ji said, well, it's the hukam of Vaheguru Ji, but as in the 7th Guru, Bhai Jivan Ji gave up their body for the Brahman's son who was killed, the same way, if somebody gives up their life for me to stay on, then I can stay on for some time more. So at that time, the Sant Lal Singh that came with Sant Karam Singh Ji did seva with the Dera of the Langar, they were called. And the Sant Karam Singh Ji said, was told that Sant Lal Singh was told Sant Karam Singh Ji is now wanting to leave the body. If you leave your body, Sant Karam Singh Ji said that they will stay for some time more. Sant Lal Singh Ji, one day was in Bairag, that I'm going to leave my Guru in some way, my Sant. But they were still happy that their body can come in use for their Sant. So at that time, Sant Karam Singh Ji then 2 years and 2 months more stayed in their body. And so Sant Lal Singh Ji left their body. At 4 p.m. they lay down on a chadar on the 8th day after Sant Ji said these words, and then they passed away. And this shabad, I'm not going to go through it because I haven't got the time, came as Hukmnama when Sant Lal Singh Ji passed away. So there's a few Sakhi and then we'll finish. So one Sakhi is that one time a singer from Punjab came to Sant Karam Singh Ji. And at that time, the singer, wherever they would go to sing, people would partake in drinking alcohol. They would be doing things that weren't in line with Gurmat. At that time, when they were singing, the singer's voice stopped working. So somebody told them that if you should go to Sant Ji. But the singer had sharm. They were like, how can I? The songs that I sing are not appropriate. How can I go to Sant to help me, for my gala to get better, my throat to get better, then I can sing. So he was embarrassed. So he stood at the back in the Sangat when he went to Sant Karam Singh Ji. Sant Karam Singh Ji said, don't worry, tell us what is the problem. They go, don't shy away from the Sangat. Whatever, the Sangat is Guru Roop. It's the Guru. One, you have Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Two, the Guru, the Sangat is the Guru as well. That whatever you say here, then you can get maafi from whatever you say in the Sangat. So they explained what happened of their job and what happened in their voice. And then Sanji said, this is a place for Naam. This is not a place for your for what you're saying, but we'll give you an upadesh that your voice will come back, but don't sing any bad songs. So bad songs in terms of songs that are talking about things within alcohol or bad things, and gives good Sikhya meaning teachings. Give good teachings to the people that when you sing, you should sing the things you can talk about culture, the good things in culture, the good Sikhya that you could give to children, to people. And then from that day onwards, ago that the person started singing good things. They stopped what they did previously and started singing good things, and they got more fame for that, and they started getting more money for that. But at some point, even that, they thought that actually this is not what we wanted to do. And the upadesh that they got from Sant Karam Singh Ji, now they stopped singing and started doing bandagi, started meditating on Vaheguru Ji and doing Kirtan instead. So that kind of mode, you see, that change came within this person. One day they came to steal the horses of Sant Ji, some Pathans did. When they got further, they go blind. When they'll go back, their eyesight will come back. And so they thought, well, hang on a minute, what's happened here? So they went back to Hoti Mardan, and then they told Sant Karam Singh Ji, even though they're embarrassed what had they done, but asked for maafi. And then Sant Ji said, if you steal even a small thing, you'll be blind for all your life. They go that Guru Kar, especially in the Guru Kar, stealing anything, even a minute thing from the Guru Kar is completely wrong. But generally stealing from anyone is wrong as well. But the Guru Kar, because why, is where people do ardasa. Every person in here, you probably do an ardas, you do a supplication to Guru Sahib that please help me in this, this and this, and then you give something, and that thing is to give to the Sangat. But there's so many Sakhi and Guru Kar where somebody's taken something and then something's happened to them. So you be very careful when you come to the Guru Kar. It's a place to give, not to take. Guru ke Langar. So the Langar, Sant Ji would say that, I think we spoke to it before, that one time they would always make mitte chol with desi ghyo. And at that time you could think that desi ghyo, mitte chol, that was like a luxury in them days. And at one time they would have khand, sugar. And this khand, so these things would obviously cost a lot of money. And at that time the khand had completely finished. So the Sant Ji, who was in charge of the Langar, thought, okay, today what we'll do is we'll use gourd, but the gourd basically was like a red color. It wasn't really a good quality. They asked Sant Ji, what should we use? They told that instead, if you don't have sugar, use mishri, puffed sugars, sugar balls you get. And they go that at that time, because there was no mishri as well, they just used gourd without asking Sant Ji. And that time, the first thal would go to Sant Ji. Sant Ji would check each thing in the Langar to make sure it was right to give to the Sangat. It wasn't like we couldn't give anything to the Sangat. And when they checked it, they go, hang on a minute, why is it a red colour and what have they used? So when they went back, they went straight to the Langar themselves. And they go, what have you used today? They go, that we've used, sorry that we didn't ask you, but we just used the Gorda because there was no mishri. They go that, okay, so Sanji went to where the mishri was, where the place where it should be. And when they went into there, there was a tear of mishri. There was so much mishri in that Gudam, in that place. And then when they came out, they go that Sanji said, never, ever, ever you should never use bad things in Langar. You should always use the best thing, even though you can go hungry yourself. Even though that you can think that today that there's only enough Langar for the Sangat, to go that even though you should never think like that, because if you have Vishwas, if you have faith in Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, that all of this Langar can feed the whole of India. That's how much barakat Guru Nanak Dev Ji has. That whatever, if you have faith in Guru Sahib, you'll always, there's another Sakhi which is not put in here. There's one time where Langar was there was a Pandara at somebody else's place, and Sant Karam Singh Ji was invited. And Sant Karam Singh Ji said that now time is to give Langar to the Sangat. At that time they go that some people have keep Puramashi Vart meaning fast. In them days of Prabhav of like Hindu rituals, and the Muslims keeping fasts as well, on the Sikh people as well. And it wasn't just Sikh that was partaking, it was Muslim, Sikh, Hindu as well. So they'll say that the person said that we can't start the Langar till 4 p.m. when the fast is going to break. Sant Karam Singh Ji goes, we don't care about anybody's fast. The Guru Kar, the Langar should be always. Wherever there's a Guru Kar, Langar should be always. And then at that time, Sant Karam Singh Ji left and went back to their Dera. They go that this is not the Maryada of the Guru Kar. One day is Maya. So Sant Karam Singh Ji can show how much Shakti, how much power they had. That their Langar was so much that they had to pay for the Rasad Pani, the things, for the Rasad Pani, for whatever they used in the Langar. And at one time, the shop owners wanted to test Sant Karam Singh Ji. And they go that Sant Karam Singh Ji, because they never kept any money. What would happen is they would sit on the kursi when people ask questions. Sangat would come and just give money. And whatever Maya would be given, that Maya would be given to the shop owners. They wouldn't count it. And that would always be the amount that was owned to the shop owners. And the shop owners never came for 10 days. They go, that must happen on day-by-day basis. How can that happen for 10 days? How much? Our bill is so much. So once Sant Karam Singh was sitting on the kursi, and shop owners came, and Sanji goes, why haven't you come for so many days? They go that, we haven't had time. So they go that, okay. Sangat came, all the Maya, all the money that was given at that time, the 10 days bill was just the right amount of money. And the Sant Karam Singh Ji said, never test anyone. Never test anyone that meditates on Vaheguru name. That sometimes we have in our head that we should, we have jalaki. I know that we think that, Guru Sahib not listening to us, or Guru Sahib, what do they know? What does the Sangat know? And sometimes we want to test. The Sant Ji says, never test anyone. That Vaheguru Ji always gives the rizq that is in somebody's karam. Rizq meaning whatever is in your karam, in your destiny, you will get. And that is preordained by Vaheguru Ji. And that we should have faith in Vaheguru Ji, not we shouldn't test Vaheguru Ji. So that's, what's this one? Okay, so this is another one there's another Sakhi, I think, what time is it? Another Sakhi is where, I think we are finishing this one. So, it was one person who came to Sanji and says that I want darshan of Vaheguru Ji. And then Sanji says that it took 36 years for Bhagat Farid Ji. They ate leaves for 36 years. So patte khande, suke patte khande hunde sige, and their body became a pinjra. It became so thin, it became like just bones. For 12 years they did seva. They go that you've come after a month of doing Simran to say, I'm not having darshan of Guru Sahib. And then they go that the person came again, and they go that still you need to have faith. They go that you need to have so much faith of doing seva, of doing Simran, that you should forget about everything else. They go that at that time, that person sat in his khet, this person that had came back 3-4 times to Sanji, that I've now had darshan of Guru Sahib, of Vaheguru Ji. And at one point, they went back home and they were sitting in their khet, and they're sitting in the farm where they were in their land doing Simran. And at that time, they saw a snake. And this 6-foot snake in front of them, they quickly grabbed all their belongings and ran off. And then they came back to Sanji and they said that I haven't had darshan of Guru Sahib. They go that, yeah, you were too scared of that snake. If you looked back behind you, the Vaheguru Ji was behind you. You didn't have faith. You wanted to quickly see Vaheguru Ji. But when Vaheguru Ji tested you, you fell at that time. And the person asked for forgiveness. They go that, 1, you need faith. 2, you need to have that sidq, that bharosa, and that sahaj. Sahaj meaning stay in one avastha. And have vishwas, and be steady. And then as time goes by, you'll feel that avastha changing. And once that avastha changes, you will have darshan of Vaheguru Ji. But be calm, be patient. Okay, so this is the last Sakhi. So two soldiers came to say that our mind is not stable. What should we do? So that we've got the name, we've got the gift of Naam, but mind is not being stable. So Sanji says that the dirt can be washed by water, but when a kid is flooded, if you put water in that kid to bring back your crops, it won't come back. The same way, sins in our mind, sins that we do outside, sins that we do, and we're meditating on Naam, but we're still doing bad things, our mind is not going to be steady, not going to attach to Vaheguru Ji. We need bhavana, we need that faith inside us, number 1, but we need to stop our outwardly sins that we're doing, the bad things we're doing, and then completely sit calm. And then Sanji said, for 40 days, do jap of Mool Mantar. They go that do the jap of Mool Mantar for 40 days like it's the last thing you're going to do, like this is your last breath. They go that when you remember death, then it's like that Sakhi of Guru Sahib, when they go that you're going to die on the 7th day. And that when that person remembered that they're going to die on the 10th day, then they forgot about everything they were going to do. They kept remembering that. The same way, Sanji goes, now when you stop doing things that you shouldn't be doing, when you have faith, and now you're thinking of doing Simran with each breath, then you'll see a difference. So now it's time to give the seva to Mahapurkh. So Sant Karam Singh Ji, the person on the left here, Sant Aya Singh Ji. Sant Karam Singh Ji gave the seva to Sant Aya Singh Ji and said, now, it's been 2 years and 2 months now it's time for us to leave our body. So in 1902, Sant Karam Singh Ji left the body, and that basically tells you about that time when they left the body. So Sant Karam Singh Ji's life, there's so much Sikhi you could take from him, and now so I'm going to go through, there's about 5 minutes of how their lineage, their legacy is carrying until today. So you can see on the left hand side, Sant Aya Singh Ji. Sant Aya Singh Ji was the next Mahapurkh after Sant Karam Singh Ji. And after Sant Karam Singh Ji, these photos of Mahapurkhs they blessed. And so Sant Aya Singh Ji was blessed by Sant Karam Singh Ji. Sant Jwala Singh, there was a talk on Sant Jwala Singh I think a month ago probably, by Kulajit Singh. Talked about their life. They did seva when they were in the army as well, and they did seva Sant Aya Singh Ji, and then they went back to a place in Hoshiarpur, a pend called Harkhowal, and then they did seva there. Sant Jwan Singh, Amritsar Airport, Guru Ramdas Ji Airport, is named, there's a Gurdwara inside the airport, Raja Sansi Airport it's called, and Baba Jwan Singh is that's the Gurdwara Sahib that they started. and they were blessed by Baba Aya Singh Ji, and then they were the Gurpai of Baba Nand Singh Ji. There was a talk on Baba Nand Singh Ji as well, Hana. And they were basically the ones that were with them when they had darshan of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj within Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Sant Majha Singh, if you in a place called Big Gowal in Kapurthala, they basically were the last Sant of Hoti Mardan in Pakistan. And when 1947 happened, when it divided, they came to Punjab and they came to Big Gowal, and they passed away in 1950. And from them, there was Sant Roshan Singh Ji, who passed away about a year or two ago. And that line stays on from Hoti Mardan. Sant Pan Singh, Sant Kala Singh, there's a place called Padod, and they did seva of Sant Aya Singh Ji as well. And there's many more photos that I couldn't find, people that obviously, there's many more Mahapurukhs who did seva of Sant Aya Singh Ji and carried on the seva. Sant Harnam Singh Jian, their story is that they went into the army when they were 19 years old. When they went in, they were told by somebody, a Mahapurukh, that there's a sneha, there's a message that Sant Karam Singh Ji said that there's this person in the army, name of Harnam Singh Ji from the Pind of Jian. He sent them to me. Then they sent Sant Harnam Singh Ji, when they went to Sant Karam Singh Ji, Sant Karam Singh Ji was having Ishnan. And where the Sant Karam Singh Ji was having Ishnan, the water was flowing. And they go that Utte hi Sant Karam Singh Ji did Dandot and Matha Tek there. And then they go that at that time, Sant Karam Singh Ji, when they finished, they picked up Sant Harnam Singh Ji and they go that where have you been? They go, we were meditating in our previous life together. You will be doing a lot of seva in Punjab, in Hoshiarpur. And then they gave them, they explained to them how to jap Naam, and then they put them on this path of Simran. And then they went, once they left the army, they went back to their Pind in Jian, in Hoshiarpur, in Malpur district, and then many Mahapurukhs from them have been blessed as well. So from here, Sant Ujagar Singh, Sant Chandana Singh, Sant Harnam Singh, these Mahapurukhs stayed at Jian and did seva. Sant Diler Singh Ji, there's a place in Sangat in England who have done Sangat of Sant Diler Singh. Sant Hari Singh Harpur, who made the Tak Sri Kesgarh Sahib, they did seva. There's a photo of Sant Ji in that. There's a photo of a lot of Mahapurukhs, and Sant Hari Singh Ji was the head of Sant Samaj. Sant Basant Singh Ji Jonawale, there's Gurdwara in Oldbury, Sant Gyan Singh Ji, etc. Sant Ratan Singh Ji Dumawale, there's an asthan near Jian, down the road, where there's kutia, there's places where anybody can go meditate. There's basically, what they'll do is they put you in a hut and you can stay there for however long, and you can do Simran for 40 days, wherever. And that is a place where Sant Harnam Singh Ji resided. Sant Attar Singh Ji Reru Wale, so tomorrow there's a talk on Sant Isha Singh Ji and Sant Kishan Singh Ji. And so Sant Attar Singh Ji Reru Wale, this photo here, this picture here, they basically were blessed by Sant Karam Singh Ji as well. And they were in the army as well, and they did darshan of Sant Karam Singh Ji, and they were given, they were explained how to jap Naam and so forth. And then they came back. Reru Sahib is basically a sthamet Dasam Parchar Sri Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj had blessed. And so there was a Drakht, Reru Drakht, and it's where basically when you go there today, you have darshan of that Gurdwara Sahib. There's a Pora Sahib, there's a place where Sant Attar Singh Ji would meditate. So in this photo, there's Sant Kishan Singh Ji with a Makhesa, Sant Bhagwan Singh Ji and Sant Ishar Singh Ji. Sant Bhagwan Singh Ji did seva at Reru Sahib after Sant Attar Singh Ji. And there's so many more Mahapurukhs, Sant Vishnu Singh Ji Roni Wale, there's other Mahapurukhs that have been blessed by Sant Attar Singh Ji. The whole point of me putting these photos of these Mahapurukhs in was to show that even to today, so Harkwal, you can say that there's Sant Jagjit Singh Ji Harkwal Wale that come to England quite regularly. Sant Roshan Singh Ji used to come to England as well to do seva. The airport, Baba Pan Singh Ji, all these Mahapurukhs today, that their line carries on till today, and they're doing seva till today. Sant Isha Singh Ji, obviously, their seva is, they came to England and passed on their body in England in Wolverhampton in 1975. And so their way of doing Kirtan ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਿਮਰਨ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਬਾਰੇ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਪਤਾ, the ones that didn't even understand, like the ones that ਅਨਪੜ੍ਹ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ, that ones that didn't go to school, they couldn't read or write, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਸੰਤਾਂ ਨੇ Sikhi ਵੱਲ ਪ੍ਰੇਰਿਤ ਕੀਤਾ. They brought him into Sikhi. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਛਕਿਆ, because in the 1970s, obviously when people came from Punjab, they wouldn't, they cut their hair and stuff. So with the prerna of Sant Ishwar Singh, they came back into Sikhi. So it shows that Sant Karam Singh Ji, the whole, the Sant Karam Singh Ji, the lineage of Sant Karam Singh Ji, the line that comes down, or the seva that Sant Karam Singh Ji did, even till today, when you hear something that these Mahapurukhs are from the Hoti Mardan Samprada meaning Samprada, that Sang Paripakar, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪ੍ਰਥਾ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਆ, the thing that is carrying on. And that thing is carrying on from Sant Karam Singh Ji till today, that the main thing of the Hoti Mardan Samprada is to do Langar di seva, to do Amar Sanchar seva, and to spread the name and the teachings of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. So that is the end of the talk. There was a video, I don't know if you've got, but we'll leave it there. Sorry, you can you can share a link, it's all right. We'll leave it there for today. ठीक है? All right, thank you for listening. WhyGuru Ji